Every year, Hollywood celebrities and professional athletes enter the main event hoping their cards run hot.
Oh, Fold, come on, we can have dinner together. Good luck, man. Seriously.
And every year, it's the same refrain.
That was a great experience. I'll definitely do that.
Is this year different?
Everyone agrees you got to get crazy lucky, play smart, and get crazy lucky. That's all.
Kevin Pollak has talking chips. And yep, he's talking.
What are you doing? You're asking for trouble.
And NHL goaltender Roberto Luongo is not letting too many pots get by him.
This is something that I've had a huge passion for over the years. And now that I'm here and I'm living it, it's very exciting, and I take it very seriously.
Two celebrities out of their comfort zone having the time of their lives, chasing that bracelet. At the main event, anything is possible. Welcome to Day 3 of the World Series of Poker main event presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. With $8.5 million looming in the distance, 1,229 players return tonight. I'm Lon McCarran with Norman Chad and Kara Scott. Actor Kevin Pollak headlining the feature table.
Sometimes he's talking, walking, and sometimes he's walking and talking.
Pro Jason Somerville has stayed near the top of the leaderboard.
I am going to make this man smile sometime before the end of the main event, guaranteed.
Elsewhere at the outer tables, plenty of star power trying to become champ of the 43rd main event. Vanessa Selp strikes fear in everyone.
I'm not scared of her. I just keep 15 poker tables between us at all times.
Roberto Luongo's poker game is gaining respect.
Yeah, but I'll play the guy heads up all day as long as we're not on ice.
And there is the current chip leader, 27-year-old Ben Alcober.
From Chino Hills, California to 900,000 chips. Good job.
JJ Lowo continues to run well, and Ben Lamb's Panorama Towers neighbor David Randall currently in 7th.
Right now, the leaderboard is very young and very American.
All right, let's go down to Kara Scott right now, who is with actor Kevin Pollak.
Someone who's used to a little bit of lights, camera, action is Kevin Pollak. Coming here and sitting at the feature table, how much of poker is performance for you?
Well, you know, when I play a hand like Christopher Walken, then it's all performance, which has happened on several occasions, just to keep the troops entertained. Cameras or not, you know, they assume I'm acting in every hand, so I try not to. But sometimes it helps. I'm not going to lie to you.
I saw you talking with the table, you know, before everyone got seated. Is becoming friends with people there kind of part of the shtick, part of getting them on your side?
I'm inside their heads now. They can't get out. No, I own my boys now. They don't know what to do with these lights. They're freaking out. I'm in heaven. Hoo-ah!
Well, have fun out there. I'm sure you will. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck, everyone.
Even though Kevin has an average-sized chip stack for the tournament, he has the most chips at this table.
Well, Kevin talks a lot and he acts a lot, but he doesn't play a lot of hands. He's tight. He's not giving away his chips.
30-year-old Alejandro Anaya has one of the short stacks at this table.
An amateur from Los Cabos, Mexico, in his first main event.
You're Kevin Spacey. No, I'm kidding.
Why you got to do me like that?
That was a joke.
First of all, his Christopher Walken pales in comparison. He can't hold my
Naya won a satellite against 21 friends to earn his seat to the main event. Now he's in the process of trying to beat 6,500 people he doesn't know.
Folded to Eric von Buxhoeften on the Jack Link's Beef Jerky hole cam. He has Jack 10 of diamonds.
Through the miracle of science, von Buxhoeften has my head of hair from the summer of '83.
The 27-year-old who lives in Vienna with a raise to 6,000. Right now, with fewer than 1,300 players left in the main event, the chip average about 168,000. The blinds at 1,500 and 3,000. The ante is 400. Folded to Kevin Pollak, 10-8 of spades.
He min-raised my big, beautiful blind again.
Kevin does not appear to have a real captive audience in von Buxhoeften.
I like it. I like it.
Over 3,000 more. Kevin Pollak, the 54-year-old, will make the call. All right, heads up. The flop, King 8-9, 2 diamonds. Pollak pairs his 8, but von Buxhoeften is favored with an open-ended straight flush draw.
Well, if you're not going to bet a straight flush draw, you may as well be playing Go Fish in Poughkeepsie.
Pollak checked it, and von Buxhoeften bets 4,000.
I'm glad he bet. There are no non-stops from Las Vegas to Poughkeepsie this late in the day.
Pollak comes along with a call.
Sometimes Kevin Pollak entertains with simple silence.
Turn card 10 of clubs, 2 pair for Pollock. Now he's a slight favorite. Von Buxholten missed his draws, but paired his 10. Kevin checked again, as does Von Buxholten. River card is a queen, and Von Buxholten gets there with the straight. Pollock first to act, his 2 pair no good, but he bets 12,000.
That's kind of a defensive bet from Pollock.
And just a call from Von Buxholten, and he'll take that pot.
Your straight's good. I got 2 pair.
Well, if you knew he had a straight, why'd you bet 2 pair? Comedians.
But an ugly card on the turn because
I guess you don't.
I can't really bet the turn.
Yeah, you can't lay down if I was going to push on the turn. Nice hand. Nice hand.
Yeah, if you push,
I'm betting like any other turn.
he was going to call all the way, Kevin. Kevin tosses in his chips. Nothing like dragging in Hollywood money.
Eric Von Buxholten now approaching 100,000 chips.
Yeah. He loves to shove that stack. I think I got off cheap by only...
Kevin doing a post-mortem on the hand. He used to do this after his stand-up act at the Improv.
I don't know.
Tonight's feature and secondary tables offer a contrast in styles. At our feature table sits Hollywood actor Kevin Pollock. At our secondary table, young superstar Jason Somerville. We know what to expect poker-wise from Jason. From Kevin, not so much. At the main event, Hollywood usually delivers playful banter, a few great one-liners, but also many early exits. Tonight, Pollock tries to buck that latter trend, putting his skills, both comedic and poker, on full display.
Juan, I'm jealous of both these fellas. Kevin Pollock is funnier than me, and he might be better at poker than me. Jason Somerville has youth in front of him, and I know he's better at poker than me. So what does it all mean? It means that tonight we'll get both sides of the poker equation. A little entertainment and a lot of great play.
Jason Somerville has been near the top of the chip count throughout day 3, but the second biggest stack is just to his left.
Jason won his bracelet last year in a no-limit hold'em event. When he got heads up, it lasted only 1 hand. That doesn't happen too often.
Kevin Song sits with almost 250,000 chips, and with nearly $3.5 million in career earnings, he cannot be ignored at this table. Action on 28-year-old Douglas Schroeder with pocket sixes.
He's an amateur from St. Louis. He works at a BMW dealership.
A raise to 8,000 on Kevin Song now. Ace-8 of diamonds.
Song won his bracelet in a 1997 limit hold'em event. He beat a final table that included Eric Seidel, Huck Seat, and Barry Johnston.
And he comes along with the call.
Seat 6 calls 8,000.
You can never be too comfortable with your stack in the main event. A lot of short stacks, so wondering if they can survive to day 4 and make the money. So a lot of different strategies sitting at the table. In the small blind, Jason Somerville gives up his hand. At the big blind, Alessio Isaia from Italy. Ace-5 off.
I like a guy who doesn't play a weak ace out of position. Thank you.
Yeah, and you like this man. So heads up, it'll be Schroeder and Kevin Song.
All right, guys, what will be heads up?
Song looking to catch something to catch up. 4 deuce 6, 2 diamonds. Schroeder with a set. Kevin Song with the nut flush draw.
That's an action flop like in the movies.
Schroeder, no slow play for him. He was the original raiser, bet 7,000.
Song finished 20th in the 2001 main event and 42nd in the 03 main event.
Definitely a player, as we have mentioned. Now lives back in South Korea after spending quite a while in LA. He raises to 17,500.
It's possible Schroeder is playing this hand without seeing his hole cards or the board. His hat is awfully low.
He re-raises.
All in. I call.
All in and snap call at Schroeder at risk, but ahead right now.
That went according to script. And Schroeder now a 3-1 favorite to double up to a healthy stack.
You see Kevin Song's outs looking for a diamond. The 6 of diamonds not in there. That would give Schroeder quads.
Okay.
All right, the turn card is a diamond, and Song wastes no time turning the net flush.
The percentages flop, and Schroeder now a 3-1 underdog to stick around.
Schroeder has outs. The 7 of hearts is not one of them.
Thank you very much for the game.
Douglas Schroeder knocked out as his main event has come to an end.
No cash for Schroeder. Kevin Song hoping for his 29th World Series cash at this main event.
Schroeder walking away, failing to secure his first ever World Series cash. Kevin Song gets stronger here on day 3 as Jason Somerville's control of this table is threatened. The 2012 World Series of Poker is presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. And Slotomania. Enjoy free, fun slot-style games on Facebook and your mobile device. Welcome back to Las Vegas, day 3 of the World Series of Poker main event. At our secondary feature table, one of the rising stars in the poker world, 25-year-old Jason Somerville. Tough to read, willing to take risks, and very solid fundamentally.
He's an instructor at the Poker VT training site, and he has successfully adopted the small ball strategy taught to him by his buddy Daniel Negreanu. Likable fellow, but I wish he'd stayed in college and gotten his degree.
All right, let's watch Jason play a hand here at the secondary feature table. Folded to him, and he has the Jack Link's Beef Jerky wild card hand.
I already got a bad feeling.
Somerville with a raise to 6,000.
That's a min raise from the hijack seat. That tells me nothing. I'll go with D, Queen 10 suited.
Of all those choices, you go with D, Queen 10 suited.
By the way, that min raise, typical of the small ball game Somerville likes to play.
And it is catching on like wildfire. Folded to Kevin Song in the big blind, ace 7 off.
He's got a fatal attraction to the weak ace. It's like trying to date a redhead. They look appealing, but in the end, you've wasted $40 on dinner.
5-9-6, Song with a gut shot. First to act, reaching for chips.
Yeah, Kevin Song is going to represent a weak ace here.
Kevin reaching for chips of each color, 8,700.
Well, whatever Somerville's got, it's better than Song. A gives him top pair and a gut shot. B gives him a set of 5s. C gives him middle pair. D gives him a flush draw. Raise him!
But you said D. Just a call.
Just a call? I have no idea what Jason has. I have no tells on a man who won't smile.
But you said D.
I know.
The board pairs. Kevin Song missed his straight draw and now checks.
Act like you have the best hand, son. But if he's got a flush draw, he missed it, so he doesn't have the best hand. I don't know. I wish he'd smile.
You said Queen 10 of hearts.
Yes! But I have no idea.
Somerville with chip. 16,500 is the bet.
Now he's betting. Would Somerville just call with a draw on the flop, then bet it on the turn when he's still not there? It's possible, but I'm feeling shaky.
Kevin Song, as we said, missed his straight, but he puts in 16,005.
Song's quite sticky here.
River card now, a pair of 7. Song pairs up.
By the way, no matter what happens in this hand, I am conceding defeat. I have no idea what's going on.
So safe to say he doesn't have Queen 10 of hearts. Song checks his pair of 7s.
Smile, buddy. If you smile, then maybe I'll say something less stupid than I'm saying right now.
All right, so Somerville putting chips in again, 18-5.
That's either a value bet or a value bet bluff.
Song with the call. Somerville shows 9-8 trips on the turn. A rivered straight to win the Jack Link's Beef Jerky wildcard hand.
And that confirms my standard moronic read of the hand.
It was not Queen 10 of hearts. Somerville approaching 500,000 chips in the 2012 main event.
And see, the redhead hand cost Song 50,000 chips.
Jason had given away some chips earlier, wins that pot, so he's finding his stride, something made a lot easier after a decision he made 6 months ago.
For a very long time, I had struggled with my identity and had kind of always felt like I didn't have to address that side of me if I wanted to be happy. You know, I eventually was lucky enough to meet my current boyfriend, Vincent Newland. He's a very strong person. When you meet him, like, you know for sure that he's gay. Half the time when he talks, rainbows come out of his mouth. Like, you know, you just you just know that he's gay. And with being around someone like that and wanting to respect our relationship, I have to be open too. So I wrote a blog post starting in January. It took me about a month to write. I posted it, and the reaction was great. Like, I honestly expected a mild reaction from the poker community, and instead what I got was an overwhelmingly positive reaction. I got like 1,000 messages in the 48 hours after I wrote the blog post, all of them supportive, like, and here I am, you know, 6 months later, very happy now, for sure.
In his blog, Jason wrote that the lack of openly gay poker pros is bad, quote, reflective of community that isn't open to all when we actually are one of the most open communities, end quote. Bravo, Jason.
Starting the hand with a button, Michael Dentale, Brooklyn-born poker player, 3 World Series cashes. Action on Jason Somerville. Ace-Queen off. Ace-Queen worthy of a raise to 7,500. Jason looking for something strong to happen in this main event. He's only cashed for about 19,000 at this year's World Series so far. Action on Alessio Isaiah. Queen 6 into the muck. Adam Latimer took Douglas Schroeder's seat. He folds. Folded to the button. Michael Dintali.
What's the bet? 75.
Born in Brooklyn, attended Brooklyn College, lives in Brooklyn. I don't think he's ever been to any of the other 4 boroughs.
King 10 of hearts, and he makes the call.
In fact, this is the first time Dentali's ever been out of Brooklyn. Welcome to America, sir.
In the big blind, Joshua Sisek, King 8 of clubs. He's a 36-year-old nuclear power plant engineer.
Yeah, and he was born in Schenectady, New York, but now lives in New Jersey, a veritable world traveler compared to Michael Dentali.
For 4,500 more, he makes the call with a suited king. 3 players to the flop. Ace, queen, king 10, king 8. Here's the flop. And it is 10-8-8. The big blind hits the flop big time. Sisek with trip 8s, and he checks.
He's sitting on it. I'm surprised. That's a draw-heavy board.
He is the short stack at this table. Now Somerville, who missed that flop, with the 2% hand. That's 11,500. Dintali caught a pair of 10s in the flop.
Even the Dodgers left Brooklyn.
11,005 from Dintali. Sisek now with the big hand.
Mullen.
Moves all in for almost 59,000.
The check raise shove should thin the field.
Somerville gets out of the way to Dintali.
It's a lot of chips, man.
Dintali started the hand with over 300,000.
Big hand?
Yeah, he started the hand with 100 big blinds, so he can afford the call.
Can't see him having too big of a hand. I think he would have raised pre-flop.
Dintali with top pair, weighing his options. Call and hope he's ahead, or fold and move on to the next pot. His decision comes after the break. Day 3 of the World Series of Poker main event continues. We head back to the secondary featured table where Michael Dintali is figuring out whether to call Josh Sisek's shove after a flop. They gave Sisek trip 8s and Dintali a pair of 10s.
It's too bad bicep size doesn't help you win pots, because then Dentali wouldn't be in this position.
He would be a world champ.
A call here represents about 16% of his remaining stack.
Let's hope you have diamonds.
Put in 8.
Nope. He's got trip. Sisek has been called, and he's in good shape for the double.
Let's see how good I run.
Sisek finished 284th at the 2010 main event, and in great shape to double up here through Dentali.
Turn card 5 of hearts, giving Dintali fresh outs, and Sisek heartburn, literally.
Where's the chart with all my outs? You don't have that little chart with all my outs up, up, up? How many more outs did I just get?
11 outs now to knock out Sisek.
The river card is a hard, and Sisek heartbreakingly knocked out of the main event by Michael Dintali.
Can't believe that happened, man. Good game, kiddo.
Brutal, brutal ending to Joshua Sisek's main event.
He was a big favorite when the chips went in, but the deck was not with him. Dintali scores the knockout.
Just like in real life, this always happens to me. Runner, runner.
It's pretty sick. I didn't expect that outcome.
Dintali dishes out the bad beat. 6,598 players entered this main event. About 80% have been eliminated. 666 will make the money, but the big money exchanges hands at the final table, held October 29 and 30th at the Penn and Teller Theater. Ben Lamb was at that final table last year.
Last year was last year. This year is this year. He's hanging on with 12 big blinds.
Roberto Luongo might have a scheduling conflict if he makes the final table.
Actually, he could multi-table like Phil Ivey. You know, bounce between the Canucks game and the October 9. Hockey has 2 intermissions.
Sean Rice has a top 10 stack, but needs more if he wants to play in October.
15 million more should do it.
Rice sitting at the same table as Sean Deeb and Eric Lindgren, 2 of the heavyweights in the game doing battle right now. Lindgren turned a gut shot to a king high straight. Deeb flopped a 10 high straight. He's a big favorite. He checked the turn.
Lindgren, 31 World Series cashes. Deeb, 19 World Series cashes. Lindgren at 35, 9 years older than Deeb.
Eric bets 38,000.
Deeb, one of the online young guns who can play everything well, not just your garden variety, no-limit hold'em specialist.
Deeb with the made straight already. Just a call.
I saw Eric take a big gulp after Sean called.
Eric studying how Deeb moves, breathes, bets. River card, ace of clubs. Lindgren comes up empty. Deeb straight is best. He checks. Lindgren checks, and Deeb shows him the winning hand.
Yeah, straight should do it. At least Lindgren sensed not to bluff the river.
Eric failed to make the higher straight, and it's Sean Deeb stacking the chips. Sean, not the only Deeb in his family who won a pot at this main event. His grandmother, Ellen, played too, though it's her home game where she hones her skills.
I'm Ellen Pusseter Deeb. I'm Sean Deeb's grandmother, and I am 92. I was 5 or 6 when I started playing poker. The competition of playing with someone and beating them is what I like. I want it. You have to know how to read your cards. Check. And you have to know how to bluff. I'm raising. She won again. And you have to know your poker competitors. Figured you for an ace. Sometimes when I have something, I pass, and sometimes I have nothing, I'll bet. So they really don't know just what I've got. I'm all in. Playing in the World Series was one of my greatest experiences. The one that beat me came out and apologized for having done so.
Sean paid for his grandmother's main event seat the last 2 years. This year, she got the honor of saying shuffle up and deal on day 1 and told everyone they were playing for second place.
Back at the feature table now, Eric von Buxhofen just called all in with aces, and he's in great shape to double up against Bruno Kawachi and his pocket tens. And the table sees the pain. Aces versus tens. All right, here's the flop. King 10, Jack. There's a 10. Kawachi flops a set. Von Buxhoven's aces are cracking.
And he is allowed one last sip of water.
He does have a Broadway draw. Turn card now. Another Jack. Kawachi with a full boat, reducing Von Buxhoven's outs.
Only an ace or a jack saves Von Buxhoven.
The river card is the 8 of spades, and Kawachi will score the knockout, flopping a set, and Eric von Buxhoven takes his leave.
So when you don't cash, it's always smart to take your water with you.
Nice hand.
With that pot, Kawachi approaching 200,000 chips. So Eric von Buxhoven eliminated on day 3. His bad beat story will start like many others. I was all in with aces, and the desert at night. There's more than just the strip here in Las Vegas. New to the feature table, recent Arizona State graduate Greg Milliron.
Me, my big mouth. You look very familiar. I want to say movies or something, right? I want to say.
Let's go movies for 400. And the answer is?
They didn't bring us over here because of the rest of us, that's for sure.
Bing,
They
bing,
let us go
bing,
play in
bing,
the
bing,
street.
bing.
Greg immediately becomes the chip leader at this feature table with over 300,000. Kevin Pollak still sitting with an average-sized chip stack.
Nothing else about Kevin Pollak is average lawn, above average comedian, above average impersonator, above average actor in movies like A Few Good Men, The Usual Suspects, and The Wedding Planner.
Have you heard his William Shatner impression?
Oh,
spot on.
Gold!
Fold to 2, Kevin, with Queen 8 off suit. And Kevin with a raise to 6,000.
I said he was tight, but he opens it up here with Queen 8 off, min raise.
Blind still at 1,500 and 3,000. Keating folds to Alejandro Anaya. Queen Jack offsuit from the big blind.
Anaya has never seen any of Kevin Pollak's TV or film work. In fact, he thinks Kevin is a limo driver.
Anaya from Los Cabos, Mexico. From the big blind makes the call for 3K more. Heads up with the Hollywood poker playing Kevin Pollak. Queen 6-9, top pair for both. Anaya has the better kicker.
7.
Anaya checks. Pollak bets 7,000.
Kevin does bet it, but if this were the movies, he'd ask for a retake on the flop.
Anaya works in timeshare sales down in Mexico, which, if you've ever been there, it seems like everybody is employed in that business. He, with a check raised now, 10,000 more.
And that raise could be a wake-up call for Pollak. Then again, maybe he thinks Anaya's on a draw.
Pollak puts out 15,000 more. It's less than a legal raise.
10 more, right? That was meant as a call, sorry.
He raised 10 more.
No, he raised me 10 more.
I mean, you can get whatever the ruling is.
And he's obligated to make a minimum raise.
And comedians are not good with money. Shecky Green was always looking to borrow a few bucks.
Anaya calls the raise with 10,000 more.
Nice angle, Kevin.
Yeah. You got to work everyone you know.
Anaya could have seized the moment and re-raised, but he did the polite thing there.
A 7 on the turn. Anaya a 3-1 favorite with the jack kicker. Kevin picks up an open-ender.
Anaya has a business administration degree, an amateur who is an aspiring poker professional.
And the chips in hand, a rather small bet, 21,400.
Yeah, Pollock with top pair and a straight draw. He's not going anywhere. Kevin's even getting the right pot odds to call here.
And there is the call. So a pot of almost 114,000. River card 10 of diamonds. Pollock gets very lucky. Runner straight. Anaya now checks. Pollock immediately grabs a bunch of the orange chips worth 5,000 each and bets 40,000.
Value bet from Pollock. He never would have value bet Robert De Niro if they played poker in casino.
Oh, bad things happen when you do that.
Eights.
Yeah, Naya trying to figure out what he can beat. The thing is, he figures Pollock is not bluffing here, whatever it is.
Well, Anaya seems to be in fold mode, but he hates to give up the hand. Shows a queen and folds.
You're going to be happy. You're going to be happy.
You got a 9.
Not only did I have one of those, but I had one of these.
Well, one of those was good, but one of these wasn't.
Not a bad run out.
Look at that 10 on the river. That crazy damn 10. It's ruled every hand here. Big laydown. How bad was your kicker? Must have been bad. That's a big laydown.
Wow. It was a good laydown and saved Anaya from even more damage.
In fact, I think
Close.
if you watch, like,
Nice hand.
I mean, that's kind of
Nice suck out is what it was.
Kevin gets lucky. Here to weigh in on that hand are Phil Locke and Antonio Esfandiari in tonight's installment of Pro Analysis.
This hand is all about micro moments. Alejandro seized the micro moment where Kevin was trying to call but accidentally raised. Well, this was an opportunity missed, in my opinion.
Right, and in poker, it's very rare that you get an opportunity like this, where your opponent, Kevin in this particular case, throws in the wrong amount of chips. Perfect opportunity to exploit that and re-raise. Doesn't matter if you have top pair jack kicker or nothing.
Yeah, even if Alejandro had air and he was in this spot, once he sees that moment, he should just seize it.
I couldn't agree with you more.
From a poker standpoint, they're right. From a human standpoint, they're wrong. I agree with Alejandro's gentlemanly response of simply calling the accidental raise. We're all people, after all.
Action on Mark Telcher. There you see the players and their chip stacks for the secondary feature table. Telcher with 10-8 offsuit.
He's a 32-year-old London trader and a heck of a poker player.
From the button, a raise to 7,200. King Jack offsuit in the small blind, Cameron Somsky, and he gives it up. Jason Somerville with the big blind and a weak ace. He's going to defend.
And now Jason's going to take the redhead out for a stroll down loser's lane.
All right, heads up. Telcher, 10-8 against ace-7, king 4-9. Ace high is best for Somerville. He checks.
Telcher looks like a prize fighter waiting for the opening bell to ring.
He has almost $3 million in live poker earnings. And he'll continue, it appears. And there it is, 11,500.
There's a bluff that should end matters.
Somerville, though, will come along.
Boy, check call from Jason. I don't know about that.
Turn card now. It's a 7. Somerville pair of 7s, up and down straight draw for Telcher. Jason checks again.
Now, picking up a straight draw, Telcher might fire another barrel of 10 high hooey.
It is 23,300 worth of hooey.
By the way, Jason's chip configuration is mesmerizing. I think it's some type of visual hocus pocus to scramble opponents' minds.
It has done it for me. Somerville with another call.
Telcher's thinking, no problem. Help!
River card is an ace. Somerville Rivers ace is up. And Jason, who was checked twice before, checks a third time.
Wow, why would Jason think Telcher's going to bet again here? Oh.
Because...
Maybe he's going to?
He just might, yeah. Oh, look at this. Wow, 33,000 and a snap call.
You're good.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, the other guy has aces up, and I believe you have 10 high. Yeah, he is good.
People wonder how pros collect big stacks. Sometimes they just hand it over. Telcher down to 181,000. Somerville building his stack to 533,000. Jason was ahead the whole way and got maximum value from his weak ace. The kid from Long Island continues to climb the leaderboard. More from day 3 of the main event after this. Back at the World Series of Poker main event, Lon McCarron with Norman Chad and Kara Scott. We get a look at the end of a big hand Vanessa Selps just played. She got it all in on the turn with a flush-drawn gut shot against Felipe Morbiducci. And if you don't get it in good, you better be lucky. And Vanessa was very lucky. The 7 of clubs gave her a flush, and she stays alive in the main event with over 500,000 chips. So the chip average over 188,000. The chip leader, young Ben Greenberg from Boulder, Colorado, with 1,051 players left at the featured table. Kevin Pollak has a better than average chip stack. It's been folded to him in the small blind with pocket fives.
He started playing poker seriously while filming Casino. 20 weeks of long shooting days at the Riviera here in Las Vegas.
And Pollak calls from the small blind for 1,500 more. Bruno Kawachi in the big blind with 8-5 off.
26-year-old Brazilian pro. He does not know who Kevin Pollak is either. Actually, he thinks he might be Hume Cronin.
Kawachi with a raise to 8,000, sensing weakness.
Yeah, see these?
Kevin maybe not as comfortable now with pocket fives. Or maybe doing a little acting.
It's been known to do that.
I couldn't remember. I wasn't being a I hate folding when I'm ahead. But you've not played a hand in a long time. Tell him I'm ahead. Tell him.
You're ahead.
An honest kid.
But a raise with 8-5 will win that pot.
Nice hand, sir.
Thank you.
You waited so long to play, you know, even though you're just protecting your big blind.
Even in defeat, Kevin Pollak is friendly, a practice he also continues with every new dealer at his table.
Drama begins. Biz, how are you?
How's it going?
Alan,
How you doing?
how are you? Do you like the bowl?
I like ballroom dancing.
Ballroom dancing?
Yep.
You're my hero. I'm a hoofer at heart. I kick it old school. What's the name? What's your name? Bradley, I'm Kevin. How are you? Nice to meet you, sir. I'm the biggest tipper, in case I hadn't told you already. Austin. Welcome, Austin. Where are you from, Austin?
I am from Southern California.
Southern California?
Yes, sir.
Can you be more general?
California, sir.
Nice. Nicely done.
Kevin's got the right idea with the dealers, and let me remind everyone, the dealers do a great job, and it is a tough, thankless job.
So why don't you tip them?
Good for you.
Folded around to the small blind, Lance Keating with pocket jacks. 37-year-old business owner from Indiana with a raise to 7,200. Now in the big blind, Alejandro Anaya. Anaya wakes up with kings.
Uh-oh. Pocket jacks. The Lon McCarron Memorial hand is about to get buried.
So Keating opens for a raise in the small blind. Always suspicious if you're in the big blind. And here's a re-raise all in from Anaya.
With 30 big blinds left, I don't blame him.
Anaya with 91,300 in the middle.
Wow. What is happening?
You have pocket jacks, and they never win. This is blind versus blind. Chances are Anaya's hand isn't as big as it is.
It's only one hand I'm ahead of, and that's tens.
Keating senses he's behind. Wow.
He should have sensed that earlier. And he gives up the jacks, becoming one of my poker heroes.
I had jacks.
Lance Keating.
Very nice fold. We both hate pocket jacks, but I don't know how Keating knew to muck them.
Anaya takes that small pot, a missed opportunity perhaps with those kings. A startling but correct fold from Keating with the jacks.
Wow. What is happening?
Tonight's bracelet moment is brought to you by PokerNews.com. Iranian-born former poker dealer Ashkan Razavi had to defeat Amanda Musumeci to win the $1,500 no-limit hold'em re-entry event.
I'm stoked. I'm really happy. It's amazing.
One of the top player of the year candidates, John Manette, took the title in the 5K stud event. And Vincent van der Vloot became just the fourth Dutch player to snag a World Series bracelet, winning the $1,500 pot limit Omaha tournament. Roughly twice the size of New York City at 17 million people, the Netherlands has won a World Series bracelet in 4 of the last 5 years. Notably absent from the list, Marcel Lusk.
But Marcel still is alive and kicking at this main event.
To our secondary featured table, under the gun is Kevin Song. He has 6 World Poker Tour cashes for over $158,000. 8 4 of clubs is what he is contemplating.
Not a particularly strong 2012 World Series for South Korea, just 3 total cashes, 2 of them from Kevin Song.
Song with a raise to 6,500 with 8-4 of clubs. Dentali with ace-queen. And the Brooklyn poker player calls.
Well, his favorite hand is pocket jacks, Lon, and now he's playing ace-queen. If I'm in a hand, you know I don't have pocket jacks or ace-queen ever. You have my word.
To Jason Somerville with ace-king. And he just calls.
Somerville playing ace-king passively.
On the button on the Jack Link Speed Jerky hole cam, 9-8 of spades for Alessio Isaiah.
25-year-old Italian pro with a WPT title, and he's made 3 World Series final tables. That's a pretty nice shirt.
And he just calls. Small blind folds. Latimer in the big blind gets out of the way, so Kevin Song gets some respect, but he does get 3 tag-alongers to the flop. Nobody re-raised him. 4 players. 10, Jack, 10. Song with a big whiff.
4 players to this flop. None of them has a jack or a 10?
None of them. A check from Song. Dentali with Broadway draw number 1 checks. Somerville with Broadway draw number 2. And as we've seen, Norman, when it's checked to Jason, he likes to bet. 12,000.
12,000.
Isaiah with an up and down straight draw.
That shirt could use a little ironing.
He had a sweater on, got under the lights at the feature table, took the sweater off, and now folds. Song sees only 1 club in the flop, and he gets out of the way.
Now Dentale with this ace-queen, and you can see the type of trouble ace-queen gets you into. If I were him, I would never leave Brooklyn. I would never play ace-queen.
He calls.
Me and you again.
Heads up, they each need the other's kicker to make Broadway, and Jason does just that. Isaiah would have turned an inferior straight had he stuck around. Dentali checked, top pair and his draw.
When Jason bets, he's got to make sure he doesn't take chips out of the wrong stack, or else his hold thingy comes tumbling down.
He bets 24,000.
Hard for Dentali to get away from this. He's got queens and 10s, plus he's drawn to Broadway.
Got something good, Jason?
Pretty good.
If I fold, you show me?
I'll think about it.
Sounds like a congressman in training.
Dentali gives it up.
Good fold.
Jason wins it.
I'll let you pick one. How about that?
Anyone.
Either one?
Anyone.
It's the ace.
What was it? I didn't know which was which.
Yeah, no, I know.
It was a flip.
If you show one, you should show both. That was our old kitchen table rule.
So Jason Somerville adds through his prodigious chip stack as Dentali takes a small hit here at the secondary featured table. Let's get to an outer table now and catch up with 4-time bracelet winner Daniel Negreanu. Both he and Mattis Dilpsis have ace-high. Negreanu, though, with a better kicker, holds a big advantage after the turn.
Daniel loves listening to ABBA.
Check to him, and Negreanu checks. River card, a king, so each with ace-high. Negreanu with a better kicker.
Dilpsis, a 22-year-old Lithuanian pro.
He's going to try to buy it. his only avenue to success here, 7,500.
Negrano just with ace high. But Daniel's thinking about it. I guess he figures Dilpsis either hit a flush or has nothing.
Negrano reconstructing the hand. Calls. And his ace high will beat Dilpsis' ace high.
Daniel's got the better ace, and ABBA rocks.
So Negrano picks up a pot of 33,000, moves his chip stack to almost 143,000, still below chip average. Dilpsis in even more trouble, down to 63,000.
Will you sign my t-shirt?
Absolutely. Look at that. Patience over knowledge equals results.
No, here.
Where'd you make it? Oh, right here on the shirt? You gotta open it for me.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Daniel doesn't take pen caps off?
Daniel makes a good call, signs an autograph. Such is the life of Daniel Kid Poker Negrano as he remains alive in the 2012 World Series of Poker main event. The 2012 World Series of Poker is presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky, Feed Your Wild Side, and by WSOP Academy. Text WSOPA to 67777 for a free tip for one of their pros. We are about to crack the 1,000 player mark here on day 3. 666 will make the money, so still quite a ways to go for this group out there still playing. Ben Alcover taking another turn at the top of the leaderboard.
From Chino Hills to the top of the main event hills. Good job by the 27-year-old.
Maria Ho, the last woman standing in 07, has almost 268,000.
She has 5 cashes at this World Series, 16 in her career.
Canucks goaltender Roberto Luongo just doubled up to over 116K.
Yeah.
And I saw him make an incredible glove save at the Rio Buffet earlier this morning.
Stop the biscuit. All right, back to our secondary feature table. Jason Somerville, top dog there with over 550,000. Folded to Kevin Vandermissen, Poker Pro from Belgium with pocket sevens, a raise to 6,600. On the Jack Link's Beef Jerky whole cam, Adam Latimer folds Trey Deuce. Now Song on the button. 10-5. Folds to Michael Dentale in the small blind, Jack 10 of diamonds, and for 5,100 more he calls. In the big blind, Mark Telcher, Queen 5 of clubs.
How much are you playing?
150-ish.
Making a move with rags.
Oh, yeah, Telcher with the re-raise to 29,200, reopening the action from the big blind.
Telcher trying an old-fashioned squeeze play here.
Vandermissen gets rid of his sevens.
Telcher's halfway home. He got the best hand to fold. Now he wants Dentale to release, though Telcher actually has a better hand.
Dentale calls for over 22,000 more with the Jack 10 suited.
Dentale, not a believer.
The Queen 5 against Jack 10, the flop. 8-6 ace. Telcher still good. Dentale leading into the razor with Jack high, 30,000.
Dentale representing an ace. Boy, Telcher always looks like he's about to pummel someone.
Telcher showed strength pre-flop.
I'm all in.
And that's showing strength post-flop here, all in for over 142,000.
Well, you actually have a hand for once.
No, he doesn't. He just has steel nerve, the bluff shove. Of course, nothing like bluff shoving with the best hand.
Ace reg again.
Dentale just posturing here. He's got to fold Jack high.
That I can't call.
And he will fold, finally giving up his hand, and Telcher will win it and show.
I know you have nothing, believe me.
You showed the Queen of Clubs, 5 of Clubs.
Trust me when I say I know you have nothing.
Telcher hoping to tilt Dentale there.
But to be 100% honest with you, and I won't lie to you, your Queen High was winning.
Really?
I give you my word.
I believe you.
So a gentlemanly admission from Dentale. To an outer table now, a clash of poker titans. As Ben Lamb was all in pre-flop, he's looking for a card that will save his tournament against Chris Moorman.
Lamb's got to have a 5 or Moorman will bust the 2011 World Series Player of the Year.
The river card is the Jack of Diamonds, and that will do it. Ben Lamb gone from the 2012 main event.
1 year later, Ben Lamb comes back to earth. A quiet World Series this year for Lamb.
No cashes for Lamb at this World Series in Las Vegas. 8 events last year, 5 cashes with a Player of the Year honors, as you mentioned.
And now it's good to be Chris Moorman.
Moorman collects the last of Lamb's chips. He goes over 200,000, which is just about the chip average in the room right now, 211,000. Last year, Ben Lamb was on this leaderboard throughout the event. Tonight, he is out. A different Ben is on top. Ben Greenberg. JJ Lowa was in third, Sean Rice in fourth.
And Ben Greenberg, a Duke University grad, is playing with a broken metacarpal bone in his left hand. You gotta play hurt at the main event.
It didn't take long for actor Kevin Pollak to find out day 3 is different than day 1.
I hate folding when I'm ahead, but you've not played a hand in a long time. Tell them I'm ahead. Tell them.
Roberto Luongo skated by tonight's test, but the game will only get tougher. Last year's third-place finisher came into day 3 like a lion, but went out like a lamb. If the main event is a marathon, we've just hit the halfway point. For Norman Chad and Kara Scott, I'm Lon McCarran. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.